Good evening, children. Welcome to 6th standard online science class. Today we are going to discuss about the seed dispersal. This seed dispersal, as I have told already, the seeds are either dispersed by the animals. The animals will intake the fruit and they will expel the seeds, and through their expulsion the new plant will grow out, isn't it? Otherwise the seeds may also dispersed by wind. Look at this picture. This seed is especially designed for the wind dispersal. Apart from that, the wind dispersal, for example, we can say drumstick, silk cotton, cotton, all these seeds are dispersed by wind. And look at this picture. It has hook like structure on its outer surface. This will make the uh, seed to fall on the animals, and the animals, wherever they go, it will fall down and a new plant will grow. Apart from this, even water can also helps in this seed dispersal. How? The plants such as coconut, lotus and all, the seeds float through the water and reaches some other banks, and the new plant will be developed. That is about seed dispersal. Do you understood, children? So now we are going to discuss about the seed. The seed has the outer covering, which is called as seed coat. This outer covering, no, this is called a seed coat, and it stores the food also. Okay, dicotyledonous plants has two cotyledons. Okay, do you remember about the taproot system and fibrous root system? We have discussed earlier in our classes, right? So this dicotyledonous plants has two cotyledonous. See, it can be divided into two equal halves. Okay, whereas monocotyledonous cannot be done like that. Okay, children. Yes. So the point where the fruit and the seed attached, this point is called to be hilum. This point is called to be hilum, and the part which is below the hilum is called as micropyle. Micropyle. Do you understand, children? Which is hilum and which is micropyle? Yes. The baby plant inside the seed is called embryo. The baby plant inside the seed, this one, the baby plant is called as embryo. Okay, you understood what is embryo? And it bears the radicle and plumule. Radicle and plumule are responsible for the growth of the plant from the seed. Okay, radicle and the plumule are present inside this embryo. This is about the dicotyledonous plants. Similarly, the same things, what are all the parts present in the dicotyledonous dicot seeds will be present in the monocot plants also. Monocot seeds also. Do you understood, children? So this is the diagrammatic representation of maize. Maize is actually what? Monocotyledon. So the maize is the best example for monocotyledon. Here you cannot divide the maize into two parts, isn't it? Yes. So, but what about this one? Gram. The chenna dal you are eating, right? That is the example for dicotyledonous plant. You understood about the seed structure of seed, children? Shall we switch over to the next topic? So we have discussed the structure of seed. Now we are going to concentrate how the seed germinates. The seed lies inside the seed coat until it gets the suitable condition for growth. For growth, it needs a suitable and favorable conditions. Until that, it will lies inside the seed coat. The dormant embryo becomes active and grows into a seedling during the process of germination. So during germination only, this embryo will develop into a new plant. The embryo will develop into a new plant. Look at this picture. The radicals and the radicals are there. Slowly primary roots arises. From the primary roots, the cotyledons will expose the new fresh or new leaves, which is called as foliage leaf, and then stems are developed. Slowly the stems are developed. The cotyledons, after the development of stem, branches and leaves, the cotyledons slowly dry off and shrink and dry off. Okay, children, this is how the seed germinate. The seed germinate. Do you understood? Yes. So this process of developing the seed into, or growing the embryo becomes active and grows into seedling, is called as germination. What is germination? The embryo becomes active and grows into growth into a seedling. Into a seedling is called as germination. Do you understood what is germination, children? Yes. A seed needs a suitable temperature, adequate moisture, and oxygen for germination. So, what are all the things needed for germination? The seed needs a suitable temperature. At all temperature, a seed cannot germinate. Similarly, moisture, the presence of moisture also plays a vital role, and also oxygen. The availability of oxygen also makes the germination good. Okay, children. So a seed needs a suitable temperature, adequate moisture, and oxygen for respiration, because oxygen is needed for the respiration. Am I right? Yes. So all these things are required for the germination process. Hope you have understood the lesson thoroughly, children. By this the lesson gets over. So do the assignment and report in the group without fail, children. We will meet in the next class. Thank you.